Well, and again
And
plus.
again plus.
So it don't have a case where it will be a minus.
No, 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 no. Never.
For true?
Never. If it's a minus, you will see the minus.
Oh wow.
Do you see a sign in front of one? Yes,
Which one?
look at there up there.
No.
There's a plus that's there.
Plus sign.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
why am I putting? She make me put a minus. Plus. All right.
Yeah.
No, just joking.
So
Yes.
why is there after where you have the result after multiplying, where you have
My
5 over 3?
negative of food.
Yeah, but you have on the next part where you're saying 1 over 5 and 3 8, and the next matrix there we have a 0 under the 3,
1 over
and
5. What are you talking
yeah,
about?
go to the result after multiplying below.
Yeah.
On top where you have where you have the 5 over 3, and under the 3 you have a 0,
Yeah.
and under the other 3 you have a 2. Wow.
Right. No. Remember, that's a matrix. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 elements. They are all encased by themselves in a little box. So that 0 is from minus 1 over 3 times 0.
But so if it's multiplied by 0, wouldn't it just be 0?
Yeah, look at there, 0. Minus a 4 times 0 is 0. Continue talking. I want to know what you're thinking. Yeah.
So even just 0, then why have a 5 over 3 above it?
Right, because look at there, that's another element by itself. Negative a 4 times 5 over 1.
So give it a
Oh,
space. Give it a little space for him to see.
Let him talk. Let him talk.
wait. So basically, okay, that is just the answer for 1 over 3 times 5 over 1, which is 5 over 2.
Yes, yes. So because it's a fraction, it's looking close to the 0. That's why she was saying give it space, but I can't give it space because it comes stick as a matrix there. You see matrix template, so I can't go between them. I can't click
Okay,
between them.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
I see, I see.
either fraction is looking close to the 0, right?
Yeah,
I
it
know.
was kind of confusing, that's why.
I know, I know. So that they are two separate elements.
Okay, sir.
So sometimes that is why instead of that type of fraction, someone might say, why don't you use that type of fraction? So if you are doing this, you have this fraction rate slanting a little bit just to accommodate for what you are saying there. You can go back in insert, you can go in equations, you can go in fractions, and you have this type of fractions there. You can even choose that one. So it's looking like, it's looking
Mm-hmm.
a little
Yeah, that
friendly.
makes sense.
It's looking friendlier to read, right? Okay. Less confusing. So we can use that type of a fraction because as they too close together there. So what that was again? 2 over 3? Right.
Yeah, sir, one question.
Yes.
Why didn't you use 1/3 times 5 instead of putting 1/3 times 5 over 1? Or as you did for 0.
Yes, you can. You can minus 1 over 3 times 5. You don't have to put the 1 under the 5.
Okay.
You don't have to put the 1 under the 5. Someone mentioned it, that's why I put it. But
Oh,
you are not bound to put it. Once you get minus 5 over 3 as your answer is all. Any more questions? Right. So therefore now we can add now. So somebody please tell me what comes in that box there. What comes there? Anybody? I'm waiting. Yeah, the student with
over
the
2
student
thirds.
the student with the calculator. 1 plus minus a foot minus 5 over 3. What do you get?
2 over 2 thirds.
2 over 2 thirds. 1 plus a negative 5 over 3. So you can put it, if you have a calculator that works like that, if your calculator doesn't have a fraction up and down, you can put that other fraction in a bracket for the calculator to read that is a whole an entire number by itself. All right, minus 2 thirds. So see if you get minus 2 thirds, the others in your calculator.
So
So
it's into
I need to,
addition sign.
And in arithmetic is a plus. If you don't
Yes, but
see,
it's not negative, no?
when you say it is not negative, what do you mean by it is not
So
negative?
like the first matrix take away the second matrix.
Yeah, look at there.
So why is a addition sign for the added towards the end?
The first matrix take away the second matrix. What do you notice about the second matrix? What is so special about the second
Why
matrix?
cute?
What that
It's
catches your
negative.
attention?
It's negative.
Negative what?
Negative 1 for D.
Right. A negative sign doesn't stand up by itself. A negative sign belongs to an answer, to a number. Any sign belongs to a number. Okay, so it's not really C minus, it's a C. If you have to separate that, you cannot say C and do that. That is wrong. Don't do that at all. That's not C minus that. All right, please be very careful. If you want to separate those two, let me write that down. I think I did that already, but you also can do it again. If you want to
So whenever
separate,
it's like that, it's always on.
if you don't see a sign, it's a positive.
Man.
Now, if you have to separate this, you have a C minus a third. And I understand why you all are thinking like that, because that was never really explained before. If you have to separate this, the true way of separating those two there, that sign have to go with the third. No matter where you bring the third, the negative sign have to follow it. That negative sign is attached to the number there. That is a C and a negative, a third D. That's not really C minus a third D, you know. Okay, it's just like that. Let's say you have let me write this down somewhere that you can take note. Separating terms or even numbers. Okay, all these things should have been discussed previously. Now let's say you have a 4 minus 5. If you want to separate those two numbers, how would you do that? You want to create a space between them. What would you do? You write down the 4, right? What next? You want to create space between those, the 4, the minus, and the 5. This is wrong. That's not really 4 minus 5. That is a 4 and a minus 5. 4 and a minus 5 that is happening there. You have a 4 and you have a minus 5. That minus sign belongs to the 5. Okay, so that's not really C minus a third D. You can say it, but that's not what really is happening. That's a C and that big space you see there is a and a negative of a D. Alright, so please remember that. That can serve you well climbing up the ladder university wise. Algebra foundation. So if you have to separate those two, that's a C and a negative of a D. That's a 4 and a negative 5. So please take note of that. So when you have that situation there, that's why I created the space. Look, you have C and you have that negative of D. So the negative of D now, we have to multiply a negative of to D. And then we bring them back together. Okay? Agreed? Any more questions? So please take note of that.
Yes. So
Any more observation? Oh yeah, we haven't continued yet. And please voice out what you are thinking. All right. I'm willing to extend the submission of this assignment because these are very important issues. Why rush the assignment to finish and then afterwards go? Remember, we're trying to build a foundation, not just for college algebra 1, for the algebra courses higher up. Okay. Talking about university. So I'm prepared to modify the assignment according to what number come in there now. And please bring those questions out. I want to know how you're analyzing it for us to discuss it. Because remember, you're bringing stuff you learned already. You're bringing it to the plate. And then you're bringing it come. So let us discuss
so
it.
you can also say 3 over 1 plus negative 2 over 3.
3
right?
over 1, yes, if you want to go because you want to deal with the fraction, because that's a 3.
Mhm. Right.
And you have a plus, so we say
Plus
3
negative.
over 1. But if the calculator, you don't have to put the over 1, yeah?
No.
3 over 1 plus or minus 2 first, right?
Right.
If you want to do it manually, then the
Mm-hmm.
over 1 will be useful. But with the
Right.
calculator, as you say, you don't have
You
to.
just put 3 and yeah.
And you get 7 over 3, right?
Right. Yes, sir.
7 over 3. Just a minute. 7 over 3. Yes. Minus 5 plus 0. Easy peasy. 8 plus 2.
10.
Agreed?
Yes.
Now look at what I'm going to do. I'm going to look and see